Yo, peace was good. Welcome to another hip hop album review. This is part 176. The album that I'll be reviewing today is Straight Off the Streets of Muthaphukkin Compton by Eazy-E, released in 1996. I know some of you guys been asking me to review this album. I was gonna review it anyways, so you know what I mean. But finally, we'll be doing this review because I know some of you guys been asking me for this for a minute. So just log off Facebook. Yeah, so by now you guys should know who he is. I did a review on both both NWA albums as well as the EP. I did a review on Eazy's first album, Eazy Does It. I did the 5150 EP, which I didn't really care for. I did a review for It's On. I did that I think like a couple weeks ago, and now I'm doing this review. Alright. So there's the story with this album is that the original title of the album was supposed to be called Temporary Insanity. He was supposed to drop it back in like 1991, as early as 1991, but he kept pushing it back. It never dropped. So he was supposed to drop it, but then he ended up dropping 5150 Home for the Sick, which was supposed to be the precursor to Temporary Insanity. Then he was supposed to drop it back in 1993, but because when Dr. Dre did the Chronic album, he made the diss songs to Eazy-E. Eazy-E decided, let me drop the Temporary Insanity album, and we just put out this It's On EP and stuff like that. Things of that nature. So I think there's a couple of songs from Temporary Insanity that that's leaked on the internet that I'll post down in the description box. You know how I get down with that. He was supposed to drop that back in 1993. Then he pushed it back, kept pushing it back. It was supposed to drop in 94. It dropped, he pushed it back, things of that nature. And he said that it was going to be a double disc album. He recorded up to like 60 tracks and things like that. Would love to hear the rest of those songs, man, because, I'm a big Eazy-E fan, especially Eazy-E from the early to mid 90s. That's like my favorite era of Eazy-E. I just liked his dark approach when it came to music and shit like that, so that's what I liked about Eazy-E. Then he was supposed to drop that 94, never did. He was supposed to drop in 1995, never did. He ended up dying from AIDS on March 31st, 1995. Can't believe it's been like 21 years since he died, man. That's crazy. So they ended up releasing this album right here, which I would assume was Temporary Insanity, like some of the tracks, you know what I mean? But would love to hear the rest of the songs that he recorded for it. So yeah, so let me show you what the album looks like. See Eazy-E kind of like on a lineup like in jail and shit like that, kind of like a mugshot where you got the mugshot. Got the track listing right here, you know what I mean? Pretty dope. This is the OG pressing, the original 1996 pressing, and how I know is which I didn't know, is that with this version, it's supposed to say Muthaphukkin Compton, but what happened with that was that you know how it was back in the day. They had to, censorship was pretty big back then. So with this version, the OG pressing, you can actually scratch it off, kind of like a scratch off lottery. You can scratch it off and it'll come up. It says Muthaphukkin. But I'm gonna keep it like this. You know what I mean? Which I didn't know. I didn't know about that until yesterday. So that was something new to me. So because I always wondered why I started seeing versions with with the word Muthaphukkin, but I never understood that. But now I know, because all they had to do was scratch it off. But I only think you can do that with the OG pressing. The 98 repressing, I don't think you could do that with. I'm not sure. Anybody that knows about that, let me know in the description box. I know somebody in the description box will know about that. But the singles of the album, there's 2 singles. The singles are Just to Let You Know and The Motherfucking Real feature MC Ren. So those are the singles of the album. All right. Let's talk about the producers on the album. Oh shit. Excuse me. Producers on the album: DJ Yella, shout out to DJ Yella, Bobcat, Bobcat. He's done stuff for L Cool J, Eazy-E, among other people. A guy named Stone. I don't know who that is. Naughty by Nature. Realistically, KG from Naughty by Nature. A guy named Tony G, and that's pretty much it. Those are the producers of the album. The features on the album, features are Gangsta Dre, Gangsta Dresta, BG Knockout, and Sylk, BG Knockout and Dresta, which I showed you guys the Real Brothers album that I showed you guys yesterday that I will review eventually. MC Ren, Dirty Red. For those who don't know who Dirty Red, you probably seen him before. If you guys seen the video, Real Muthaphukkin G's, that light skinned dude with the red hair that was rolling around Ice Cube, around Eazy-E and shit like that. That light skinned dude with the red hair, that kind of like he kind of like Stephon Curry. Well, that's Dirty Red. So just let you guys know. So just let you know, in case you guys you didn't know. Gangsta Dre, as I mentioned before, Menage a Trois, who's a Menage a Trois. They're a hip hop duo from Compton, 2 females. They have an album out back in 1994, which I want to get my hands on, but it's long out of print and it goes for a lot of money. So, but I definitely want to get my hands on that. And none other, and then last but not least, Roger Troutman. All right, so let me show you the back, what the album looks like. I'm gonna have to do a part 2 because, you know, alright, so the album looks like pretty cool. Track listing. Alright. Open it up. That's what the CD looks like. Okay. Then you see Eazy look like he's throwing like a bottle or some shit like that to like the surveillance camera. And one cool thing about this CD, or the CD case in general, let me put the CD here. I have to pick up the camera, but I don't know if you guys can see, but it has the letterings where it says, let me put this. I don't know if you can see. But it says you find yourself without morals. Alright. Then you put in the you flip it over and it says thou shalt not kill. Alright, so alright. So I don't know if you guys knew that, but I thought I'd just show you guys that. So alright, so let me put the CD back in. Let me start off with the review. Alright. First track is First Power. It's just an intro. It's just Eazy talking in his dark voice, as you know. You guys know. You know, he plays as God, but he just sends his victims to hell and shit like that over like a dark, ominous soundscape. So that kind of thing. Track 2, Old School Shit, one of my favorite tracks off the album. The beat is done by DJ Yella. Fucking love that beat. I just love how dark and sinister the beat is. It's a posse cut. It features, I wrote it down, it features BG Knockout and Dresta, and a female MC named Sylk. In the song they diss Death Row. You know, they going at Death Row and shit like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's definitely one of my favorite tracks off the album. Very a dope way to start off the album, in my opinion. Track 3, Sorry Louie. It's a gangster track. In the song, it starts off with this guy. It's like, I guess it's like from a movie where the guy's talking about, he brags about kind of like a psychopath in a sense where, you know, he talks about killing like a 15-year-old boy or some shit like that, and like he keeps saying Sorry Louie and things like that. It's kind of crazy in a sense, but it's pretty cool. I would like to know what movie that's from. But very dope track, and it just talks about Eazy-E just talks about killing people with a baseball bat, with the Louisville Slugger. And next thing you know, I killed him with my Louisville Slugger, you know, that type of shit. And then that's pretty much like at the end of each verse, that's where he says, I killed the sucker with the Louisville Slugger. That shit, you know what I mean? So I thought it was pretty dope beat too. Track 4, Just to Let You Know, which was the single. It's a braggadocio track. It's just him talking about how he's not one to just to let you know that I'm not the one to mess with, you know what I mean? So that's what I got from that track right there. Pretty cool. Track 5, Sipping on a 40. It features BG Naka and Drayster. They talk about their love for 40 ounces, you know what I mean? Oldie English, St. Ides, Mad Dog, you know, that kind of thing. But in this, you know, they obviously talking about oldie, because oldie English was pretty popular in, you know, in the West Coast and stuff like that, especially around that time. So I thought that was pretty cool, as well as St. Ides, but I would assume they're talking about oldie English and shit like that, but just 40s in general. So I thought that was pretty cool. Track 6, Nuts on Your Chin. It's a braggadocio track. The beat is done by Naughty by Nature, aka KG of Naughty by Nature. That's a pretty dope track. You know, it's just kind of like a braggadocio track, but as well as like a sexual braggadocio track and things like that. He talks about how he brags about how, you know, he'll put his nuts on your girl's chin, but at the same time he's talking about killing the nigga too. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Track 7, The Muthaphukkin Real, featuring MC Ren. You know, that's the next and final single of the album. You know, just talk about, you know, just represent Compton to the fullest. It's like really laid back. You know, Eazy-E just rapping really laid back. Because if you guys know Eazy-E, you know Eazy-E raps very fast paced. You know what I mean? Like he has a lot of energy. But with this one, he's kind of like laid back and things like that. In my opinion, it felt more like an MC Ren track. You know, just because MC Ren, how he is, he's more of a laid back MC. But he gets energetic too when he wants to, you know what I mean? But that song, I could definitely see that being on, like, you know, the Villain in Black album. It just has that vibe to it. Like, I could see that being on that album and things like that. Yeah, The Muthaphukkin Real, that was a pretty dope track. Like I said, they represent Compton to the fullest. Track 8, Licking, Sucking, and Fucking. It's just an interlude track, which is Eazy, you know, performing, you know, foreplay on a girl, pretty much eating out a girl over a beat and shit like that. So I'm gonna cut it short, and then I'm gonna record part 2. So stay tuned for the rest. All right, peace.